Hello there, App Spy viewers. My name's Peter. I've got a hands-on preview for you. This time it's with Sorcery 3. Sorcery 3 is from Inkle, and it is coming to iPhone, iPad, and Android on April the 23rd. And it's spun out of Steve Jackson's Sorcery series, which are a set of game books, real-world game books. And this is part 3 of the digital series that's called The Seven Serpents. So here we are. We start as this main character. I've chosen to play as a male, but you can also choose to play as a female. And my spirit guide in the top right-hand corner is the Panther. That's right, the Panther. Okay, so what I need to do is I can sort of zoom around the screen like that. I can pinch to zoom out as well. There we are, look at that. And you can see here that this is the gigantic space that I'm going to be adventuring over. But for the time being, we need to make some decisions, because that is what game books are all about. So I'm tapping on that. The stones of the old road disappear under a layer of dust and sand. At your back looms the great will of the Kare. Ahead, there is nothing but an empty waste and the night. And I get to now choose what I want to do. Do I want to ready my sword? Do I want to look back? Do I want to walk on? Well, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to ready my sword, because this is a tough world, surely. And then that stitches together those two pieces of paper. To trust this wilderness will be a fool's mistake. You draw your sword from its scabbard. Look up at the stars or watch the shadows. Well, you know what? I could do some stargazing, but I think such a cruel world, I should be looking out for number 1. You check the shadows left and right. Your fears are quickly borne out. Passing a low hillock, you are suddenly beset by a screaming creature wielding a vicious-looking sword. It is a marsh goblin. There's no choice but to fight. So I'm going to tap on the word fight. And now I'm going to fight a marsh goblin. It's quite exciting, isn't it? So the fighting is interesting. What I'm doing here, as you can see, is I'm moving left and right, and I can't move my opponent at all. It's just me that I'm moving. And at the bottom, you'll see there, defend. But if I move it ever so slightly forward, I get a jab, I get a side swipe. We're sort of going up in the aggression, aren't we? Cut. It's a bit more aggressive. Thrust, lunge, and charge. So effectively, what this is, you know, let's go with a cut, shall we? And I'm going to tap the word cut. And because my number was higher than my opponent, I dealt damage. So the marsh goblin grits together rancid yellow teeth. It seems determined to take your throat. You lunge forwards. As the goblin tries to thrust its sword into your belly, you take advantage of its open left side to wound it. You've overpowered it, causing damage. So I've overpowered it, and because of that, they've taken a hit. You have to overpower your opponent. The marsh goblin growls and spits. It looks like it is preparing for a heavy swing. If you can overpower it, the goblin will be hurt badly. So we're going to try and overpower it. Now, you'll see that I can't go as high as I did last time. I can only go back up to 6. And the reason for this is that you run out of stamina. So I'm going to go ahead and throw everything I've got at this character. Bam. And I've overpowered it, and it's really damaged them. Marsh Goblin charges. You are more than ready for it, twisting your sword grip and cutting at its exposed throat. It has its sword hefted for a full assault, leaving itself wide open. You have overpowered the goblin while it was making a strong blow. This will cause maximum damage to the creature. The Marsh Goblin staggers back, cursing you by one of its many soggy gods. I like the idea of soggy gods. And now you'll see I can't even go up to 6. I can only go up to 2.5. So it's unlikely that I'll do damage here. So I think what I'm going to do is defend completely. And I can see that, yes, you know, there was no way really that I was going to get over that, and so I defended, and I took very little damage there. Fearful, you duck back across the dirt, watching the marsh goblin closely. It jumps forward with a half-hearted attack with its oversized blade, but you push it away. The creature eyes your movements. The goblin is about to defend. A strong attack now would be wasteful. So, yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll just defend. So 0 and 0. We decided to do nothing. You stay on guard. The marsh goblin does the same. You eye each other. It watches you nervously. Do we attack again? Yes, I think we go full thrust. Bam! And we've done some damage there. Then you are on the marsh goblin, forcing yourself onward. Its sword takes the worst of all the impact. When an enemy defends, any strike will injure them. Lesser strikes are more efficient. The goblin glares at you with a desperate hatred. So let's defend. Yeah, it's gone for it, and we've taken a point of damage. Once again, you drop into a defensive crouch. The marsh goblin growls. You beat it aside, and it tumbles back, complaining. By defending, you've saved your stamina and have wasted his energy. You steal your nerve. The monster follows you nervously. Let's go ahead and bam! Come on, come on, come on! Slam. That's another point of damage. Bring your sword up and slashing at its neck. The marsh goblin moves and races back across the yard. The marsh goblin hisses through bent teeth and pauses to adjust his tattered armour, unable to disguise the green blood that dripples out from underneath. Let's sideswipe. Bam! Oh, he's done it too much! Oh, so I've taken 2 points of damage. And in the top left-hand corner, you can see the amount of stamina damage goes down. You swing to skewer its chest, but you lose your balance. The marsh goblin grabs the moment, wobbling towards you with a savage grin and a slashing swing. You stagger backwards a pace. The monster waves its heavy sword in the air. I'm going to defend. Yep, had to do that. Just took the point of damage there. Fearful, you duck back, but now, here we go. Slam. And I think that's a dead marsh goblin right there. Jumping forward across the cracked and ancient flagstones and driving the point of your blade into its flank, the marsh goblin gurgles blood as it falls to the dirt. So we're going to try again, try and do better, or we can continue. For the sake of this video, I'm going to continue. So you step back, wiping your sword in the dust, search the creature's body, shout for any others, or leave it. So I'm going to shout and see if there's any others. Are there any more of you? You cry in the dark. Then show yourselves. There's no response, not even the scurrying of clawed feet. Search the creature's body. Quickly pat down the pockets of the foul creature, but find nothing. So I can either pry loose its teeth, because that's something you do, or I can take its sword, or I can move on. I'm going to take its sword. I'm not going to try and pry its teeth out. And then we're going to move on. Then you move on, leaving the body for the ants and the flies. And now I just draw where I want to go next. Sometimes there'll be different options here, but at the moment we've only got the one. We're out into the plains. Every step along the broken road takes you further from safety and into the unknown. So now we're going to learn how to do spells. So we can cast a spell here, and it's going to alert us to danger. And we know that the spell is sus. So we need to go S, U, and S. Sus is sense danger. It requires 1 stamina, so it uses up some of our health effectively. Tap cast. And you cast a spell, weaving the starlight into shape until a voice enters your mind and begins to speak. Its warning is clear and loud. You are being stalked. You are being hunted. Look around then, because there's nowhere to hide in the middle of a plain. Whirl around but see nothing, then you look up. The stars are disappearing behind a rippling veil of shadow. There is the rush of wings. It seems your shout has drawn some attention after all. A moment later, a ferocious nighthawk has plunged from the sky, talons outstretched for your neck. And then I can just scroll down here. I can see this beautiful art that's going on here. Absolutely fantastic. Roll aside, duck, slash at the bird. I can do any of these things. As you can see, this is the way that sorcery plays out. It's a game book. It is text. You read the text and then you do some fight-ins. I'm going to try and full-on charge this thing. Bam! And that's done some significant damage. And it's really good. Great presentation. Looks absolutely fantastic. It really does. It is wonderfully dynamic. I love the fact that when you go in and charge, there's this feeling of energy and excitement. 1 stamina lost, skilled swordplay, managed to get rid of them. Then there's probably more birds in the sky, isn't there? Yep, stay ready with my sword, start running, or I could cast a spell here if I knew more of them. So I'm going to stand ready with my sword. Then quite suddenly the nighthawks scatter, their formation breaking. Something else is shimmering into visibility in their very midst. I think that's where we're going to leave this one. I can also call upon my skill here, Jaguar, and I can pray for healing. There we are, that's used up some of my stamina. But the Jaguar will not return to me for some time, so I've used up my spirit skill for a little while now. Like I've said earlier, we can move to 2 separate places now, depending on where we want to go. But as I hinted at, yes, I think this is probably where we're going to leave it. Sorcery 3 from Inkle. Really fantastic. It is out on April the 23rd. From what I've played, I've really enjoyed it. If you're somebody who loved game books, or you don't know what they are, this is a fantastic one to take a look at. This video is brought to you by AppSpy in association with Eggshoot. If you'd like to enter our Eggshoot competition to win iTunes and Google Play vouchers, plus free copies of Eggshoot, just click the link in the description below. Thanks for watching, and good luck.